Can somebody please tell the Utah Jazz that they're supposed to be tanking this year? I think they're the only people in the entire country that don't know that they're supposed to be losing games. Now, I will start this off on a positive note by saying Lauri Markkanen has looked exceptional. Colin Sexton has played his role as a sixth man, which I kind of always felt like that was his role to play. He's played that to a T. Jordan Clarkson looks great as a starter. He's shown that he can play that role as well. He used to be a sixth man. He's proven that he can be a starter in this league. They've had a lot of guys kind of fill in and make an impact that maybe wouldn't have made the impact that you thought they would on a winning team. And they're 10-3. They're number one in the Western Conference above all of the great teams in the West. Nobody expected them to be here, and it's not like they're beating up on mediocre teams. They've beat good teams. I know they've beaten Golden State, and they have a few more notable wins. But just to be number one in the conference at this point in the year, we're about a little over a month into the season, is insane, honestly. And one more positive thing before I get to the negative is they play basketball the right way. They play it without an ego. They play to win, and that's it. Every player out there you can see, they play simply to win basketball games and nothing else. They don't care about stats. They don't care about who takes the shots. They don't care about any of that. They just want to win the game. And so far, they've been doing it the right way. And they have a coach who I didn't know much about in Will Hardy, but he's been doing a sensational job with what he's been given, especially with the expectations coming into the season. If he would have came in and they would have been 3-10 right now, no one would be calling for his job. Nobody would be shocked. Now let's get to the negative parts. They have to stop winning at some point. As backwards as that sounds, being average in this league, it never really works out for trying to get to a championship level after what they're trying to do. You're starting a rebuild. You don't start a rebuild and then go and be average for a couple years. And they can't tell me otherwise that they were not trying to go and rebuild. Danny Ainge just said, I think, like something like, I've never tried to build a losing team. If you trade your first best player and your second best player, who's also a perennial defensive player of the year, for draft picks, you're trying to tank. You are trying to build a bad team to lose. So that's BS. I'm not trying to hear that. So I doubt that this team keeps up this streak of winning like they are right now. I think they may get into the playoffs. Honestly, that's not out of the realm of possibility. But in that scenario, there is no team where I legitimately think that they can be in a 7-game series when they match up with them. I just don't see it. So that's a decent season with a first round exit. That gets you nothing at the point that they are. You're better off of just, and I don't want to say tank, but essentially tank. You need to go and tank, and even if you don't get Victor Wembanyama, even if you don't get Scooter Henderson, I believe is his name, you're getting a good draft pick, somebody to build with. I think that Lauri Markkanen and Colin Sexton and Walker Kessler, those young guys can kind of stay and build with whoever else you bring in that you get in the draft, or however else you get a young talent. But the veterans need to be traded. Jordan Clarkson needs to go. Mike Conley needs to go. I believe Rudy Gay is still there. He needs to go. All those guys need to go so that these guys can get reps and also get a good draft pick. You're doing yourself no good by continuing to win these regular season games when in the end it's not really going to help you at all. I have no idea what positive comes out of them continuing to win games right now. Also, if they're planning on not rebuilding and just being average and mediocre and just kind of more of a retooling, no one is coming to Utah. The only way in history that Utah has gotten their stars is by drafting them. Rudy Gobert, they drafted. Donovan Mitchell, they drafted. John Stockton, they drafted. Karl Malone, they drafted. They've never gotten a free agent to come to Utah. It just does not happen. No one willingly goes to that city. So you need to go and get and draft a star. You're not going to go in free agency or even go and trade for somebody who is going to lead you to a championship. Because 9 times out of 10, if it's a star who's getting traded, he's going to veto that trade and say, I'm not going to play for them because most players don't want to play there. So in the end, my hope is that they're going to kind of pull the plug on all of this winning stuff fairly soon, and sell high on some of these players that are doing well, like Mike Conley and Jordan Clarkson. They might trade Lauri Markkanen. I don't think they should, but if they do, it would be a smart idea. You trade high. Lauri Markkanen looks like an all-star. There's no telling what you can get for a Lauri Markkanen right now if you were to trade him. What type of draft capital or players you can get back for him. I know you can get something back for Jordan Clarkson, and the contract might be a little iffy for Mike Conley, but I'm sure you can get somebody to take on that contract. So get in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Till next time, appreciate you for watching.